Welcome to This Commerce Life. We are an unscripted podcast dedicated to small businesses and entrepreneurs in the retail and consumer packaged goods space in Canada and the United States.
I am Phil Chang, co-host and co-founder.
And I'm Kenny Vanucci, co-host and co-founder of This Commerce Life.
Our love is the journey to retail, and our passion is sharing that with you every week. We really love
the show. Yeah, it's and a lot of it's more the people aspect than sometimes, because we don't buy anymore, right? We're not part of that. Like, it's a whole different show when you're not either presenting or displaying, selling or buying. Like we did just walk and talk. I mean, we can definitely do that all day.
We taste things. It's all
right.
Good.
We eat, we pontificate, and then we do our thing. It's really nice, right?
We talked about you, though. We've actually been talking about you for, I don't know, a long time, actually. I actually have a recording in the car I need to send you.
Okay.
Because we were talking about, your nudes had that came out all wrong. I was going to say your nudes had a real impact on us, but that's
exactly what I want. That's exactly
what I meant and didn't mean all of this. And now I'm wondering if my wife's going to come downstairs and throw something at me or...
Well, I do want to say it was an honor meeting Kenny at Food Pro. I think, quickly I became a fan of This Commerce Life on Spotify. I've been listening on. And I think you guys have, you guys provide such thought-provoking content, but you keep it nice and light and playful. And you guys bring such a unique and very real aspect and perspective on the CPG life. And I've been inspired by your work.
Oh,
that's nice. Thank you. That's very kind. Yeah.
We're inspired by you. Like, that's fucking amazing. It is.
Yeah.
Really, it's so good. It is so good.
Thank you. Anyway.
It really is. I think that's where we've spent a lot of. We'll get to you in a second. You can tell people who you are and what you do. But we did. I mean, it truly is about as close to restaurant sort of quality or fresh quality that you're going to get out of a pre-packed item, especially in this category.
Absolutely.
Like especially out of this category. Like, and
what
I
an
think
honor. Thank you.
That's what which is why I raised 50,000 more questions, and got us to points where we're super excited, and then we were kind of worried about you. Like, there's a whole bunch of things. Like, we were all over the place, because I do think you've got it's just a well-made product.
Thank you.
Really, truly.
I would love to get into it with you, Kenny. You were so fired up at the show.
Well, I think all three of us were. So let's do it this way. What we probably should do, we'll introduce you, so you can tell you. I don't know. We'll get into where we get into, right? So we have Mayumi on this morning, who is the founder of Noods, which is a freaking incredible product. I mean, you heard Phil and I rant about it, and we actually sincerely mean this, because if we didn't like it, we would just say this is Noods and we'd end it there. But it is a phenomenal product. Mayumi is going to tell us about where she came from, her story, her family, who's involved in this as well, and all this other cool stuff that's going on in her world. So for you, the next 45 minutes to an hour is yours.
Okay.
Start from wherever you want. We typically like starting way back, because I just love to see progression of how you got to where you got. And yes. I'm always intrigued as to why anybody would walk into CPG. As much as we love it, it is such a fight sometimes. It's a hoot to watch.
100%.
Before you start, the one thing I want to tell the audience is, like, today is October the 5th, and we met. Did we meet you on the Saturday or the Sunday? It doesn't really matter. I think it was
Saturday.
Saturday, I think.
So September 23rd, we had this tiny little, trade show sized cup of Noods, and we have not stopped talking about it from the 23rd until October the 5th. So I just because it's one of those things, right? You kind of go, is it really delicious? Like everything you taste is, at the show, there's excitement, there's energy, whatever. But we came away and I don't think we've changed anything about what we say, because we're still like, holy shit, that was really great. Restaurant quality. So it made a serious impression, right? Like, I don't know, like besides getting everyone who listens to the podcast to actually try it, which you should. But I will say that is kind of like 2 weeks after we met Mayumi, we're still talking about her noodles. So, and I just want to be clear, because I am going to get in trouble, I'm pretty sure. Now she knows I'm podcasting, but she heard it. But Noods is Noods, right? Plural?
Absolutely, yes.
So when we talk about Mayumi's Noods, that's what we're talking about. Noods. So
I love
anyway.
that you love my nudes.
Noods once again.
Okay, now I'm going to shut up and let you talk. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's funny, actually. You say October 5th many times. It's actually it would have been my father's birthday had he been alive. And he was such a. It's funny how you don't realize how much of an impact someone has on you until years after they're gone. And 10 years ago, he passed away from early onset Alzheimer's disease. And, I think that all you need is that one person to believe in you, and you can really feel like you can do something or accomplish something. And I think for me, that first person was my father, and the second, my husband. But there was a pivotal time in my father and I's relationship, that maybe when I was 16, 17, he told me that I think around that time there was a lot of chaos, probably a lot of hormones flying around. He said, if there's no obstacles in your path, you're just not playing big enough for yourself. And he said, Mayumi, your yeses and nos are so black and white. I'm not worried about you. And that was, it's not that kind of podcast, is it? I'm getting emotional talking about him. He was loved food, and our father had always been. He believed that food was had the power to bring people together, and for as long as I remember, I've always been dedicated to creating memorable experiences around the table. And for me, 10 years ago when he had passed, I wanted to really revisit the way that we treat our bodies, or the things that we put in our bodies, the way that I feed my kids. And that's when I became plant-based. And at the plant-based workshop, we really believe that becoming plant-based is the key to living an abundant lifestyle. And to be honest, for me, it was completely life-changing, because around that time, it was really difficult to find plant-based products or even food that was anything resembling what we would normally eat. And now we've come such a long way, of course, but so around 8 years ago, my family, my brother Tak and I opened up a cafe in North Vancouver, and we really wanted people to experience really good food. And the plant-based part was almost secondary. It was 90% of our customers are not plant-based, but we wanted people to be able to enjoy food around a table. And, oh, by the way, it's plant-based. And good food was just simply good food for us. Quickly, we found that there was a demand for our packaged foods. So about 2 years ago, we took those recipes and made them into a frozen line. And that frozen line is distributed nationwide in Canada at the moment. And then now, for the last year, we've been developing the Noods line. And this product is something that we're super passionate about. And because it was created from intent, I think the frozen products it's got the value and it's got absolutely the quality aspect to it. And it was made from the recipes of our from fresh food and from our recipes in the cafe. This Noods line is something that is 100% made from intention, 100% putting that value first, listening to the consumer's needs and wants. And we really believe that it's unmatched. Like you said, we have had such great response to it. It's first to the market in the way that the noodles are dehydrated. It brings the noodles back to this premium quality texture, non-fried noodles, of course. The concentrated liquid broth, all you have to do is add hot water. It brings back that rich flavor without adding that MSG or preservatives, in fact. It's got that whole cooking time of 4 minutes. We're launching it in 2 different flavors, the spicy tantan, followed by the garlic shio with the spinach and kale noodles. Again, like we just really believe in the success of this product, and with the growing demand of like plant-based options and that quality at home, with the focus on health and freshness. And we just received, actually post CHFA, we received so much interest from independents and large chains, lifestyle markets, as well as e-commerce specifically. And we just really want to deliver in that way that consumers speak. So again, like that intention with this product has been really something that has been key to finalizing it. And the rest is the speed of the leader, speed of the team. We're really hoping that it's just gonna get out there so that everybody can try it and enjoy it like you guys did as well. Sorry,
Very
I've been
cool.
rambling on here.
No.
Remember, it's
You know,
your 45
honestly,
year hour.
my mouth is watering a little
I
bit.
know,
'Cause
I'm hungry
actually-
right now, but that's a whole
hungry
different
now.
story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, so the how, like, can you take me back a little bit? So, because you're into the noodles and you're into developing Noods now, and you had frozen before that. Was it always going to be noodles? Like, what because your inspiration comes from your dad, and then so take me down a bit of that food journey specifically, right? Like, I'm curious how you got to, because you make this restaurant grade noodle that you're going to bring to the market and essentially change the way the consumer shops noodles at shelf, right? But there's kind of, I feel like there's an entire food journey there that we don't see.
Mm-hmm. So at the restaurant, the noodles are made fresh. They're in fact handmade. We are a family business. My mother, the whole original OG organic ramen noodle that's served up in our shop, as well as our frozen line, is 100% organic and made from BC flour. And that's something that came from my mother's recipe. For same with our udon noodles, which is like a home style thick noodle. And a lot of our recipes are made in like as an homage to our favorite foods growing up. And we did think that Noods was something that every generation could enjoy. My kids love it. My father loved it. But it was rarely made plant-based in a really yummy way. And I think that it's just such a low barrier for entry for non-plant-based people as well. It's something that's recognizable, but so flavorful as well. And so that was something that we started off with, but by no means was it. When we first started the cafe, we were never going. Our thoughts were never going towards CPG products. It was really just to introduce our community to different flavor profiles.
So in the cafe when you started, like, so what were the things you were actually serving?
Yeah, we're still serving till this day. So like we have the spicy tantan ramen.
Right.
So the spicy tantan ramen we actually make with organic chickpea miso, because at the time there was such a lot of people were starting to get away from soy products. I think it's starting to come around again, which like I love soy myself, having grown up with soy, but this organic chickpea miso is just so flavorful, and we use organic butternut squash for the broth, which makes it nice and creamy. And again, like that quality of the flour of the organic BC flour, it just gives it that nice aroma. And the way that we make it with like the alkaline water, it just gives it that nice chew and firmness that a traditional noodle would have with egg, but without the egg.
You are killing me. So between you describing it and then I am on your page, the organic workshop, like the cafe, with all the just
so hungry. So hungry.
You're a bad lady. We actually have, so until like after you, I think Kenny and I have a whole day before we're allowed to eat. Like I think we've got like 4 hours to go before we have time to eat.
I know, and that's not gonna work.
I should send you my nudes.
Exactly.
You have rice noodles on here too.
Yeah, so I mean, we understand that a lot of people are going towards gluten-free as well. For our CPG products, we don't have gluten-free noodles just yet. However, our frozen line, we do keep our broth and noodles separate so that people do have that option.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cafe I understand now, because the cafe is like, holy crap, and it's making my mouth water.
It makes sense on how you get to the CPG, right?
Yeah. So how do you make that leap, right? Because it's really a totally different world, right?
Totally different world, but it's sensical, this one at least, right?
Yeah, I think TAC and I really just recognized the need for it 2 years ago. Well, I mean, when the pandemic hit, really, I think there more and more people shifted the way that they ate, and they ate more and more at home, and they wanted that quality at home. And so we did, the first thing that came to mind was really just package what we're already making and then present it to the public. Having said that, again, with our shelf stable, we've been listening to our consumers, and a lot less people have that freezer space. A lot less people have time to go out to shop. They want to order something on e-commerce, or but they don't want to give up that quality at home. And so we thought, this is the product. We can really have somebody enjoy these nudes, make it for their family, make it for guests that come over, and really dress it up to the point where it's an absolutely beautiful presentation. And that's, again, with the intention that the consumers are asking for this, and that's the product we came out with.
I love it. I mean, I think of, when I saw your product, I was thinking about like if you want udon noodles at home, you can buy them in refrigerated packs, for example. But the experience is not.
It's not the same.
It's not even close, right? Like, because you're buying a refrigerated pack, it lasts a handful of days, and then it's kind of slimy, right? Like they somehow keep the al dente flavor or that texture, but then it's kind of slimy. Like it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a consolation prize, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you know the closest thing to ramen is those $2 styrofoam boxes that you know
Mm-hmm.
have enough
Totally.
spice that you can't taste the ramen anymore, right? So, yeah. So I'm
No, for sure. I mean, we did not plan to go into the CPG world, and
yeah.
to be honest, it's a roller coaster ride. Like, and as both of you know, I mean, I never thought I'd go from high-fiving my siblings to questioning in a moment's time, questioning my life decisions. You know, it's just having said that, like that greatest reward is seeing our products on the shelf and receiving those reviews from our customers who have voted for us with their hard-earned dollars, and that's kind of what keeps us going. But make no mistakes, I've questioned why did we get into this, but going off that, like again, I'm super proud of my family. Like we've come such a long way. My mom has always been that supporter, or our mother, and Hanaka, our sibling, she's part of the business, very much so part of the business as well. She's such a soldier in the operational side. Tak, again, he's like, we've become such good friends throughout this journey, and that the journey itself is super hard, but it's been so rewarding in so many ways. Like he's basically he's the fixer for everything. Like he's great on the back end. He does everything I don't want to do, to be honest. And then we come from an immigrant family, so it's been drilled into us three siblings that everything we could possibly want is always going to be on the other side of hard, and so
that's
I
such
think
an
throughout
old school thinking, eh? That's awesome.
I mean, throughout this journey, I think I finally recognized that hard things are supposed to be hard, and understanding that we can really do hard things, and seeing where this journey could take us. I think
I think it's been remarkable, the three of you working together, because I think, anytime you get family and business can be interesting on the best day, right?
Absolutely.
It'd be fabulous, but it's tough, right? Because you just don't get the break and you don't get the away. I mean, to be the three of you, and maybe we'll give Mom credit for this, sitting over top. I'm just making sure that everybody just remains cool, because otherwise Mom's right there to make sure everybody remains cool. But it's pretty amazing, because you do get those dynamics are tough to deal with, right? I mean, you're three different people, so so I get the back end and stuff, but like who's making some of these real, like all three of you decide to push for this? Is one the stronger of the three in certain aspects? Like how does that dynamic work without saying anything that's going to get you into trouble with the other two?
And they did remind me not to say anything.
Be nice, because maybe if your mom ever catches it, whatever you say, it'll remind the siblings, the mom you got to worry about.
Actually, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely am the most outspoken one, hence the reason why I'm here. I asked if they wanted to join, and they were like, no, you got this. I'm definitely the one that's more on the outside of things, designing the packaging. Actually, in fact, my husband also helps me with that as well. The driver, I guess. I've kind of have a picture of where we want to get to, and then I want to say Tak and Hanaka are the ones that basically do the rest.
So yeah, the doers.
Yeah,
Everybody's
and
got their role, right? It's always intriguing to figure out, though, because family dynamics play into it. It's always it's
interesting.
fine lines on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing, we do butt our heads, but the great thing with family is that we always show up the next day, and the respect is always going to be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Good for you.
Okay, so you're the vision setter. So where does this go? Where do you want this? Like, it sounds like you got some pretty incredible responses at the show. That's no surprise.
Overwhelming, absolutely.
Yeah, and so where do you want to go with it? Like, no trade secrets, right? Like, if you're talking about launching at retailers or whatever, but where do you see this thing going, or where would you want it to go?
And I think the same thing as Phil's saying, but I'd even near future, like specifically to this. And then if you do want to share what the future looks like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we're especially coming off show because this is not in retail yet, or just hitting retail.
Not yet. So our
really
our
curious,
first
because
SKU,
you're right at the
you're right at that pivot point.
So what happens now?
We're hoping that this Noods line is going to just take off. November is when we're going to start sending it out. With the second SKU, it'll start going out in January. And
so one SKU right now, and then the two
one
together.
SKU in November, and then one SKU in January. We also have a couple of more Noods lines that we are researching and developing at the moment. Super excited for that as well. The mochi cake mixes is also part of our shelf stable products, and that's something that we have launched at CHFA as well. For anybody who has tried mochi before, it's nice and chewy and bouncy, and it's so nostalgic for me as a Japanese kid.
After a bowl of ramen.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. So at the moment, we have for frozen products that go nationwide, we are definitely seeing a rise in the sales of that as well. And so we know that quality demand is there. The Noods line is more catered towards the masses. It's definitely a product that we want to see strongly in e-commerce as well as in retailers.
So, and in terms of retail, are you anticipating it being stronger where? Conventional grocer, natural grocer, mass, club? Like what's sort of the, because you would have got some feedback from the show. I'm sure there was more definitive groups who were much more keen than others, or not. Maybe everybody's keen. Doesn't matter, I guess, but curiosity of where do you say that?
I think, well, the response from the CHFA was that West Coast side, no problem. I think the price point was a little bit of a pushback on the East Coast. We definitely know that the value is there, though. I think it's a matter of how we present our products and how it's merchandised. And Kenny, we've had this conversation there. I believe that it does belong in that natural products aisle. A lot of the store front managers also would like to see it in the international aisle. So I think this is a great opportunity to get a little bit more feedback from the store level and see where it would do best. And if you guys have opinions on that, I would love to hear it as well.
I think we probably do, but we'll talk to you offline on that one. Not to derail this, because you know what it is, because I want to talk more about you specifically than what you think on it. But I want to talk about, we'll do it from a different level. Because I think placement, one of the things Phil and I talked about specifically from the show, so we'll kind of wander down this path, is that it's truly important, especially from your perspective when you're coming out with a brand new product or new product line, is that you've done a remarkable job. The packaging's fabulous. The product is like fucking off the charts. Like, it's so good. Like, it really and truly is. I don't care. I'll say that all day to anybody. I don't care if they're on the podcast or not. We've told people off the podcast, like, the product is really, really good. It really and truly is. But I think from a perspective of the brand owners and the entrepreneurs is, once you get past that, is you do have to try to figure out, where do you want this to be? And how do you sell that to the people that are talking to you? So like, one of my things to you would be, I'm curious to ask, because you saw so many retailers at that show, is were they leading you to where they wanted to go, or are you trying to lead them? And what did you finally sort of end up with? Because you're in a good spot. You're not out, so you can do whatever you want. So like, what is the push? Like, where's the inclination from them, and where's the inclination from you, and where's the happy medium going to be?
And like I said, I mentioned at the show, I definitely believe that our products belong in the natural products aisle, and I think it would do best in that aisle. Having said that, I think there is no comparison with an instant noodle. And so even if we were placed in an international aisle, I don't think it would be problematic, because we're not a comparable product. I think
it's a valid answer, and it's not necessarily right or wrong. It's that we're trying to figure this out too, because it may spark you to think things differently, or if there's someone listening that may be able to say, well, no, you guys, you're all three really are wrong. It should be summer. So like, if you're walking down the
if you're shouting at your headphones, or you're walking the dog,
relax, just put it on an email.
Something, you should shoot us a note with your opinion for sure.
Exactly. And just relax, tone it down. So I'll get happy. It's a good spot to be. Have a bowl of noodles. You'll feel great. But if you go down the natural set, so like, if you walk me down there, where would you be? Like, where does it sit? It's hard for me, because Superstore so close. And that's not the greatest example of a natural set. And I know all my natural friends will be choked, but they're close. They're right here. So where am I? When I walk down that aisle, where am I going?
In like a Superstore?
Yeah. Probably not the best example, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah. So I've been seeing a lot of natural aisles carry noodle kits and meal kits as well. So essentially, this is a meal kit.
It's a meal,
right? Exactly. So you have everything you need to make that one meal. So it would be nice. It would be nice to be beside those options. And price point wise, it does make sense in that area. We had kind of checked out the landscape of East Coast as well. For example, Farm Boy has these rice noodle kits.
That's true.
And in that natural foods aisle, and I think that our products would be nicely showcased around there. Having said that, beside of those kits are just noodles or just sauces sometimes, and then people would be like, oh, well, I would have to put this and this. Yes, whereas this, everything's in there.
Okay, see, again, I guess it's sort of changed. I've been struggling with this, and that's why I'm asking. I was struggling trying to think, okay, I don't know, where is this, like, how's this going to look? And okay, now it makes, and I guess
it makes more sense, because it
makes a lot more sense.
We
which
looked
means
at it from a noodle perspective, right? As opposed to a complete kit perspective. And then we really worried that you were going to wind up beside like a Mr. Noodle, or when it, like something where
whatever, any of those packages
isn't really equipped to make a choice, right? Because they're going to go, I could spend $2, or I could spend $9, $10, $11 on this. Yeah, of course I gotta buy 10 of the buy 10 styrofoam, but a meal kit, for example, makes
it makes a lot more sense to me too, Phil. I guess, and I think if there's the sort of advice, for lack of a better word, is I think that's where you really need to double down, and the strength of the presentation or pitch needs to be that.
Okay, and maybe you're doing that, right? Because we met you at the show, so maybe you're doing that, and we missed.
We just didn't see it, or we just didn't ask the right question of you. I don't know. It's probably us. guaranteed. But I'm curious because I really wanted to make sure that I understood that so that the pitch really became strong. This is where I want to be. And here's the 15 reasons why. And if you put me over there, just so we're all on the same page, this is how it might play, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I think that we have the potential to be in a couple of different areas at the same time, maybe.
Same time, don't push your luck, my dear. And remember, retail, real estate is real estate. Wishful thinking, you never know. You
don't ask, you don't get, right?
You could probably get it done. For the most part, most don't seem to be able to, but I bet on you.
Thank you.
So many things I love. So I don't know, like poor Kenny, right? Because I was talking about your product. I was worried about where you were going to go. I was worried about the comparisons.
Well, I think that's where we both struggle with, right?
Yeah. But the kit to me makes
total sense to me now.
I'm at peace now because
now I'm totally in a different space than I was.
And then I really do. I can't wait till I can get my hands on it. Like, so for example, I'm coming out west for the BCFB awards show, right?
I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll see you there. But I'm excited because like something like this would be, I mean, Porter has decent food, but this would be a really great, like, it's just, my mind is already, I've gone 8 ways to Sunday on this one. Like, I'd take this on a plane in a heartbeat. Can you imagine having this
hot water? I mean, seriously.
Like, oh, geez. Like, Porter, if you're listening,
get on this.
Get on this. This is like 4 minutes.
Yeah. What's that good, right?
Plant-based meal. Like, awesome.
And it's funny. You don't even have to say that. That's the funny part. Like, I mean, everybody who listens knows. I can do plant-based, easy peasy, but definitively, I'm a meatitarian. We'll go down that path. Okay, that's where we are. So when I even talk to yours, plant-based doesn't even resonate. This product just tastes phenomenal. I don't care what it's made. Whether it's all meat, meat,
I don't care, but
anything. It's just good food.
Yeah, I want to be really clear about that. Like, it's not good for a plant-based product. It is just good.
It's just good food.
Thank you.
Stack these up against anybody. So,
in fact, I think that this product is good enough for food service as well. In terms of just having less and less people having the budget to hire a chef.
After the podcast discussion.
Okay.
Well, you can see what we were probably thinking and what our worries were. Yeah. And you just honestly, because we worry about you, right? We actually really did, because we just love this, and we were concerned because placement was one of those things we're thinking, holy shit, how she's gonna buy Mr. Noodles. This is gonna be it
sounds like you've got it right. So
no, you've got it figured out well. So I feel way better now. So that's good.
Thank you.
But I love the food service idea.
And we'll be right back.
Favorite 3 letters. Come on, Phil. You know it.
OGB.
OGB, baby.
OGB.
And Phil, let's help people out. What does OGB stand for?
It stands for Old Growth Beverages. It
gives me a tingle. What the heck? What is Old Growth Beverages, Phil?
Why? I'm so glad you asked, Kenny. It's a microground tea. So it's a tea where we take all the tea leaves, we grind them up into fine powder, and it basically takes your process from getting from thirsty, unfulfilled, and wanting a hot, refreshing tea, and it takes that process and it converts you into a happy tea drinker in about 30 seconds. All you need is hot water, a spoonful of microground tea of your choice from OGB, and then if you want to top it up with something, and then all you got to do is sit back, cool it down a little, and enjoy.
I love that, Phil. So is this just tea, or is there what exactly do they have? Because this sounds really intriguing to me.
We've got some wonderful flavors. Some of our most popular flavors are chai and London fog and matcha. But we've got some other wonderful flavors. We've got a dirty chai in there somewhere. We've
Dirty
got a
chai
hot
coffee?
chocolate. Yes, all of these things. And the beauty of all of these is if you want a process where you're kind of like, pouring and steeping tea, you can do that. But sometimes you just need a chance to be able to have a
Quick and
nice cup
dirty,
of
man.
tea,
Just
quick and dirty,
enjoy
right?
right away, right?
That's
And
right.
drink
That's
all
right.
the benefits of the
That's
tea.
right.
I'll tell you the truth. I mean, I was never a fan of chai, to be frank with you. I love our chai. I absolutely love our chai. I think the spice level's perfect. I love the scent. I love the aromas. I love the taste. I love the way it makes me feel. And I love the fact that I drink all the spices, all the tea leaves, quick swirl at the end, down it all. And if you want that, there's a non-caffeine in our turmeric chai made from rooibos. So there's no caffeine in that one. And if you want some extra caffeine, we have a coffee based in our dirty chai. Same spices, different base, phenomenal.
I'll tell you, I love chai, but I only ever used to get it when I'd go to my friend's house, and I would have to pester them to make it, and then I have to wait for them to make it. Now I don't have to do that. I get a spoonful of it out of an OGB pouch, and I'm good to go.
Just bring the chai to your friend's house.
I've done that too, and they love our chai as much.
There you go.
And they don't have to prep it. Yeah, they don't have to prep it, which they really love.
Once again, Phil, the three letters. OGB, baby. OGB.
And now back to the podcast.
Yeah.
So what do you think of food service?
Yeah, we actually, for our frozen products, we have actually started food service.
Makes sense.
We just always wanted to diversify our business to be able to fund the projects that we really wanted to push. And the cafe, as well as the food service aspect, has been an enormous help in pushing that. Currently, our frozen products are being served at post-secondary institutions. For example, SFU has us in their dining rotation 3 days a week. So
awesome.
Our original frozen ramen noodles, as well as our tantan broth, is being served there.
Good for you.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because I think so we've zeroed in on Noods because Noods was just like, it was phenomenal. But you're like, so you kind of talked about it a little bit, but you actually ship, like, Mayumi, you're like this surprise. You're just, like, because you built something, you went from cafe and you built consumer line, but you also ship cold chain, so you ship frozen across the country.
So we do have a distributor for our frozen line. We don't. We have found a lot of difficulties with the shipping process directly to consumer. So we don't personally do that at our shop anymore. But
participate within that.
So you're kind of human, is what I'm saying. Like, because so far it's been like, I got it.
And I think this is where Phil and I were so intrigued with you, is that you start the restaurant, which is really cool, and food service is not easy. Like restaurant, that's a tough life. And then you decide to go into CPG, but you chose frozen because cold chain is so much easier than dry goods. Anyway, I don't know how you got to that mess, but sure, whatever. Right? And then you decided to go into CPG, premium CPG, into a whole different set that's got lots of white space. And so Phil and I are thinking, like, what is in this brain of hers? Like,
what else is in the brain of hers?
Where else do you go?
Where, like, I feel like your brain's just going, what's
like this evil scientist is thinking these things out.
Well, I mean, again, I think we've really tried to go to where the demand is there.
Yeah.
And with the food service, it wasn't something that we considered until we were approached. And then when we were approached, we thought, why don't we try the pitch and plate with Good to Grow with Andrea. And so we pitched it, and there were post-secondary institutions that were interested. And so we went in, and it has been such a great addition to our frozen product line, just to get that volume going as well.
For sure.
And it allowed us to
and in
scale
branding, right? All of it.
Absolutely. To be able to keep our branding as well at post-secondary institutions, that's been huge as well. I think a lot
of the
of
market, like seriously, of all the people you want to capture at that age, you'll drag them to 90.
I mean, the young people nowadays are so much more aware of what they put into their bodies. It's just, it boggles my mind. Even my son, who's 14, he would be like, well, what can I eat that's going to make me feel good for my game? Or, my daughter, she would just ask me to pack her a smoothie, or just having these kids really understand that at this age.
It's crazy.
I think it's phenomenal.
I think it's amazing.
And so we must be at a good spot.
Yeah.
Like branding wise, we must be at a good spot.
I think you did so many things right. It's funny. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend that anybody start in food service to get in CPG, because food service, like restaurants, are a real tough industry. There's most times we'd probably not recommend, I'm sure you'd almost be in the same boat, not recommend anybody going to CPG, and yet we all love CPG, so we would do it.
That's true.
But you started in a very difficult place, but it's not the worst place to do branding and to try. So you're listening to consumers, and they're telling you what they want. I don't like this. And they'll tell you right now, it's in front of you. I don't like this. I like this. I wish you could do this. I wish you could do that. And it does give you a chance to spurn cool ideas to the point where you get to a Noods and say, we know there's demand because they're telling us.
100%. I completely agree with that wholeheartedly. It's just we know that we only have that one chance to prove it to the flexitarian, right? If it's just the flavor profile, and that flavor, if it's there, people are going to repeat and purchase.
Absolutely.
And we have done so much research and bought so many different brands of instant noodles, as well as meal kits and other noodles and other sauces. And I can't say that I would buy majority of them again,
right?
Because these certain products have all of these certifications, and their price point is quite high, but the flavor is just not there.
Yeah.
And no matter how healthy something is for you, if that flavor is not there, you won't buy it again, and your kids won't eat it.
Nope.
So that, I know we've nailed it. Like that quality of the flavor and the texture, that's something that we're just super proud of.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm so hungry again. Just so hungry.
I hope you both come down to the shop.
And forced her to send packaging before we got on the podcast, so we could have had lunch.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on and doing this.
Thank you.
I really love having you on. Thank you so much.
I actually can't believe it's been 50 minutes already, but we gotta.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yes. So as you roll out, will you come back? Just tell us like when you want to come back, and then we can talk about where you're going, where you're getting distribution, like what's happening, where people can find you. We can do a fast thought on it, and then I'll be there. I'll definitely. I'll be there
I would love
right
to
away. So
come back in 6 to 8 months. I hope
that's what we're
that
thinking,
and about that time, I'm hoping I've rolled out the 2 SKUs and it's out there, and we'll have that sort of the feedback, and hopefully some runs already sent out. So I would love to touch base again, and in the meantime, I'll send you some of my Noods.
You are gonna get us in so much trouble.
Yeah,
and I don't care. And I don't care. It'll be so awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much. If people want to find you, where do they?
You and or the product or both?
The product. Where do they go to find?
Or the cafe.
To find your Noods.
Yeah, everything we usually post on our Instagram at Plant-Based Workshop.
Okay.
We also have a cafe-specific Instagram, which is at Workshop Veg Cafe. I'm on LinkedIn. If anybody would like to connect with me or make an investment.
Might as well fill that one out too. Why not?
Yep.
Yeah, and I would love to connect with anybody who has great insight.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
Thank
doing
You
you.
were a treat to have on
Yeah.
the show. Thank you.
All right, keep being awesome, guys.
Thanks. You too.
Okay,
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
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 I'm so hungry. We have to
I
go
know.
so I can get
I
something to
know.
eat. We got another
We got 10
podcast
minutes.
coming
I
up.
need 10 minutes. I have to have something to eat.
Yeah. Bye.
You know what? I have old packaging of hers upstairs.
Screw you.
I can
Screw
boil
you,
water
Kenny. Screw you.
before we come back on. We have 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Screw you. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
for
love you too.
listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.